Hello, hello. It is me, the Blue Raspberry Gamer, and we are back. We're so back with a Digimon EX10 set review. EX10 Sinister Order comes out sometime soon, right? Comes out soon, but we're already on BT23 reveal, so I thought it's time to finally give my thoughts on this set. And first off, just look at the chase. We don't usually look at alt arts, which I want to change a little bit. I kind of fuck with these alt arts. I am sad that Apacoly gets like 4 alt arts for all his shitty cards, which we'll talk about. But look at this. Ooh, look at that chase card. I mean, I'm never going to get it. But some of these chase cards look really good. Just really, really good. Loving them. I don't know, but then you get shit like this, where it's like, oh man, sick Machine Dramon art. Is it playable? No. But EX10's a cool set. If you notice by this flyover, it's like all purple. So, so much purple. But with that, with a couple like just a quick scroll over, look at some of the alt arts. Where's my boy? This is like this card looks so good. Oh, like the watercolor kind of look to him. Not gonna play that card, but I could. I could definitely play that card. Lucamon looks great. Everything looks great. Beelzemon. Oh, oh, baby. With that, let's hop into the first little section of cards I've got. Uh, so here's the poster child for this set, the Black War Greymon stuff, and also I don't know where to put this Digimon Emperor card, so get him out of the way. So we have a new Koromon, and it's just when an attack target changes, draw one. Fine. If you're raiding or you're blocking, great. We have a Black Agumon who has a weird. You can return one Virus trait Digimon card with Greymon, so it both has to be a Virus Greymon and Greymon. So let's look at that. I just want to Virus Greymon. Okay, I mean we have quite a few targets, but I feel like it's not the stuff you usually go into. I mean, you got this, This is pretty good, but it's not grabbing back a lot of like the normal red stuff you play in like a Greymon Black Warrior build. So, think of that. And both of these guys give all turns 1k, which is good. Good DP. The Virus Greymon is raid. That's fine. On play when Digivolving, get 3k. That's fine. He can swing for 7k over something. I guess that could be useful. I mean, if you go over this, you'll be 8k, which, that might make a difference. And then here is the first card I think that's pretty good from these new Greymon Black War shit. Metal Greymon. He's Reboot. Reboot's good keyword. And then on play when Digivolving, give one of your opponent's Digimon Collision, which Collision is when you swing, your opponent has to block, all their Digimon gain blocker, and something has to block. And then start of your main phase, that Digimon has to attack. So, you can block, do all your shit. Ooh, an attack target changes, draw a card. And then it has an inherit of when an attack target changes, if this Digimon is Greymon, trash your opponent's top security. You do this to set up the ace play of here's the big card that's actually pretty good. First SR we're going to talk about, Black War Greymon Ace. Raid, reboot, blocker. Just give them some fucking keywords, baby. Just slop them up. Then we want to delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost 7 or lower. Or Tamers. Okay. Because you can pop a Tamer and then just block with this guy, which you force something to attack. So you're killing a stack and a Tamer, which is good. And then, if your opponent's Digimon is bigger than 13k, so if they're 13k or more, Black War gets 3k and he's not affected by Digimon effects. Okay. So, right? So if the bad situation would be if your opponent's Digimon is like 12k and you don't have any DP boosts, then you can't really block because you're gonna fuck yourself. But as long as you're, gaining that DP, he becomes a really big threat. He can pop tamers, get DP, become unaffected while he's facing a bigger thing, and then he has raid. So, he's doing some shit. So he's really good. He's a really good ace, I think. I feel like he's just a good ace. So, but we will see. Time will tell. I know Black War. I know there's a lot of people who, in my locals, enjoy Black War, and they used to love like Black War X. So I will probably be seeing this and have more thoughts on it when I've played against it. And then Digimon Emperor, another SR that is PP bad. I don't understand this card. Where is this coming from? I don't get it. Okay, 5 cost. Insane, first off. Insane cost for a tamer. That usually means the tamer is insanely good and like necessary for a deck if it costs 5. I'm thinking the CS, like Kyoko and the Mass Day Tamer, Mirai, 5 cost, and they're really strong. So, what's he do? For every 2 colors of your opponent's Digimon and Tamers gain 1 memory. You're gonna be gaining a memory, right? For the most part, people have 2 to 3 colors on the field. You'll get so for 5 costs, you'll gain like a memory. Great, unless you're facing like hunters and they have 4 different colors on field, you'll gain 2 memory. Okay, that's not bad, I guess. If a hunters is the meta, maybe, maybe Davis is making a comeback. But they still have like 2 Digimon. I don't know. On play, delete one of your opponent's 5 cost or lower Digimon. Then, by returning 1 Digimon card from your opponent's trash to the bottom of the deck, from your hand or trash, and without paying the cost, you can play a level 4 or lower Digimon with the same color as the card returned. What? You have to have the most specific meta, and you're worried about the mirror match, and this card comes out. If there's a meta dominated by a tier 0 deck that is like a soup of colors, plays all 6 colors. If Adventure does so, here's the where this card could. If Adventure was the best deck, is tier 0, it represented like 70% of results in tournaments, then you could play this against Adventure and as you're playing Adventure and maybe see something. But besides that, we no more time for this. These 2 cards, good. These cards, I don't know. I've talked to some like Greymon enthusiasts, and they're not as jacked about these as they are about these. And then nobody's jacked about this. Sorry, Ken. Not gonna happen. Next, something I am super excited for. You've seen on this channel, hopefully. Hopefully, if you haven't, I like rocks. I have a rock deck profile. You'll definitely be seeing one when I get my hands on these cards. So we have a whole new line in kind of the whole uh, every Liberator deck's getting kind of the same support, but doing different shit. Of a whole new line, an emblem card, a tamer, and a level 7. So we're all getting more or less that. New Tumblemon. I shouldn't even read it because you're not going to play it. Because old Tumblemon gain 1 memory. You're not going to pass that up. But if I had to read it, it would say when one of your opponent's Digimon attacks, trash 3 sources and then end that attack. Not doing that. You're not switching the egg. If the egg gets banned or something, somehow, if Rox is tier 0 meta, we ban the gain 1 memory egg, I guess you have to switch over to this egg. Sunoriza. On play, you can place 2 cards with mineral or rock from your trash under one of your guys. This is great late game if you need to build up resources under one of your pyramides or your level 7, which we'll get to. He's great off of the emblem, which will let you play a Suna or a Tamer. Not bad. And then he has the inherited when he is trashed, pop something, which is pretty good. Oh, 4 cost, which, pops a lot of floodgates. Not that this deck gets, like, floodgated, because I don't really, you're not playing things by effect. I mean, you do gain memory, so that might be useful there. Landra. On play when Digivolving, trash any 1 card with rock, mineral. You trash the sources, which are all rock and mineral. And then give one of your Digimon reboot blocker 3k. Really good. Because this deck desperately needed DP buffs. And then he has the same inheritable of when he's trash pop a 4 cost. which getting just blocker in archetypes, really nice. Reboot is really good because you're swinging a lot out with this deck. Giving DP, I think, is massive for this deck, what this deck needs. Which why, when we get to the level 7, Praganamon? So he is in line with the other Liberator new level 5s. I said level 7, didn't I? New level 5s, who he can warp. So if you have a close, and by placing a Landra underneath a Sunariza, he can Digivolve up into Pragana for 3. So you can skip the level 4 if you have it in trash, which you fill up your trash with stupid shit in this deck. You know, you're constantly pitching sources and filling up the trash. So, you know, okay. What else does he do? On play, when Digivolving and attacking, trash any one card from your sources, and one of your guys gains Collision Piercing at 3k. So you gain Reboot Blocker, Collision Piercing, great, and 3k. Again, he just replaces the old Pragana. He's just way better. He actually does stuff. He trashes your cards to proc those effects, gives you DP, does all the good shit. And when you trash him from your sources, his inherit D-Digivolve 1. Great. So far, pretty strong. Now, what's not that strong is the lesser Pyramid. I'm sure somebody's going to be like, well, you could do that. No, don't play this card. Play the old Pyramid. He's way better. New one, Fragment, of course. Protection from deletion by just pitching 3 sources. And then when Digivolving when attacking, you can place up to 3 sources from your trash. This guy's bottom card. That's fine. You know, we like to put sources under shit. But the old one does it every end of turn, so eh. And then when Digivolving when attacking as well, trash 3 sources, which you put them, then you trash them. And then, look, it's just not that good. It's just not that good. One of your reduce the play cost. All right, what do you... You reduce the play cost by 2 for each card trashed. And that's to pop things based on play cost with these 4 cost things. It's a very... If you ever played the One Piece card game, the black decks in One Piece do a lot of reducing your opponent's card cost to then delete low cost cards. And that's kind of what this is doing. But I don't know. It's fine because you can reduce by a lot and then pop like 2 things if you have both these, and that's kind of cool. But Pyramid is kind of a big swing a lot deck, and this card don't swing much, you know. And then the new level 7 magnetic Dramon. I don't know why that one took me a while, but new big level 7 Fragment for protection, and then when Digivolving when attaching, trash 3 cards, and then delete one of your opponent's Digimon and trash their top security. So, right, that cost reduction didn't even matter because he just pops one thing. Pops any one thing and trash security. Pretty good. Then, on Digivolve when attacking, by placing 3 from your trash, unsuspend this guy. So you can, with your old Pyramid, you can do all your swings. You're tapped, Digivolve into him, place 3 things under, unsuspend, pitch those 3 things, trash the last security, and then swing for game with Magnetic. You know, you might. And he can also Digivolve off to level 5 for 6 if you have a close. The new best card, in my opinion, for the Pyramid Rocks deck is this. The Gravel Hearts emblem. So, its main effect, it's the delay option. You may play a Sunariza or close from your hand without paying the cost. Or trash. Then place this in the battle area. Okay, that's fine. Play the Searcher one, usually, probably. Or play close. Then, like all the other emblems, when a close suspends, which is super easy in the rock deck. You're always pitching sources or Digivolving, which can suspend the old closes. Digivolve for reduced cost of 3. One of the biggest problems in rocks, besides its middling DP, was how much Pyramid he costs. He costs 4 to Digivolve, which, you know, isn't much for some decks, but it gets to some tricky memory shit where sometimes you'd have to pass turn going into him. Or you'd have to immediately pitch 3 sources, and it kind of messes up your attack order. Now you can reduce the cost. And then we finally have a new close, who start of your main phase, like all the other like all the other fucking Liberated Tamers, they give very similar effects. You can bottom deck this close to play a close from your hand at the start of your turn, and then if you don't have a Tsunariza, you can play one from your trash. So, you're just setting up. Great. And then it's all turns. When an effect trashes any of your Digivolution cards, tap, gain 1 memory. Which, pairs really well with this, of course. This giving more memory is almost better than its start of main phase. Just being able to tap and give memory, this deck will love that. Memory from a Tamer, which is unblockable from any kind of floodgate. So this is coming out pretty strong. I think this is a deck people will have to worry about, actually, in this EX10 season. Some people, my locals are saying this is the best deck to come out of EX10. And I might be inclined to agree. Next deck. Loosey Goosey has got some support, and he got a new egg. And this new egg is great, actually. It just fully replaces the old Cupimon, and it's just your turn. When any of your Digimon with Lucemon in their names move from the breeding area. So when you Digivolve into baby Loose back here, push him up, trash 1 card in your hand, draw 1 and gain 1 memory. Crazy. Great, because you don't have to delete your guy, which is the old thing you have to delete to gain 1 memory by trashing a card. Now you're drawing a card and gaining a memory, all just on pushing out. Little baby Loose, what's he do? Of course he Digivolves for 5. Of course! And then in the breeding, so here's an interesting thing. Breeding, when Digivolving. I think that's the first time we've ever seen that combination. This Digimon may move. So if your first turn, Digivolve for 5, move him up, pitch a card, gain 1 memory, you pass to 4. Not bad. And then, by returning 5 cards with Luce in their text from your trash to your bottom of your deck, this Digimon can Digivolve into a Chaos mode and trash. So that's for more like later game shit, but not bad. And Inherent Blocker is really good to just have a way to get blocker in sources. So a very good Lucemon for the deck, not for other shit. Now Chaos mode, he can Digivolve for a cost of 5, which I think is less than usual. So that's pretty good. And when Digivolving, when attacking, by trashing a card in your hand, your opponent may delete one of their Digimon or Tamers. If they don't, recover. Lucy shit. All turns, when this Digimon would leave the battle area, your opponent may delete one of their Digimon or Tamers. If they don't, he doesn't leave. Okay. This fits really well in this deck. This can fit in Demon Lords. This is a pretty good Lucy. I don't think you max out on this in Demon Lords or anything, but he can go in there. He's pretty good. You can get this from Digivolving off the other little baby Loose. And then this is just really funny. He can just stick on board. He'd just be a guy. And then the new shining card in this deck, Lucemon Satan mode. On play. That's actually just, we could stop the card there. You play this Satan mode over the old one because he says on play. The old one didn't. You could play him through effects and then nothing would happen. And then you'd have to wait, which is really awful. Just really pee-pee poopy bad because I don't know. It's just you play a big guy, wait a turn. No. Play a big guy, place a larva mode, which is an old, Lucemon Larva, an old card, from your trash to your empty breeding area without paying the cost. Then delete all your opponent's Digimon with the highest level. And then also, when Digivolving when attacking, because you can Digivolve over Chaos mode, or Chaos mode X, or whatever. Maybe not. Yeah, you could Digivolve over Chaos mode X. Your opponent may delete one of their Digimon or Tamers. If this effect doesn't delete, trash their top security and unsuspend. So that's pretty correct. He's a pretty strong guy. Then, Larva mode gives him protection when you put that old card back there. And then maybe the actual best Luce card is Lucemon's Bizarre Adventure Punch Punch Punch, known as Paradise Lost. The first not 7 cost, 7 Great Demon Lords option. And while you have a Lucemon, you can use it without paying without the colors. So it's just, for baby Loose. First, so reads weird because it's kind of second effect, but this is the more important effect. But first, main. Until the end of your turn, one of your Digimon with Luce in its name gains Raid Piercing Blocker. End of your turn, when this is in the trash, if you have a Digimon with Luce in its name, by returning this to the bottom, that Digimon, so treasure your top security and it attacks without suspending. So what's really good is do this stupid shit, pitch something, gain a memory, pitch this, you go into you're into Luce digivolves into this Luce, he then swings without suspending. Pretty good. He gets his when attacking effects. Pretty good. You know, you can also swing with him during your turn, pitch this, end of your turn, swing again. That's not a once per turn to do this effect. Pretty strong set of Lucemon stuff. Will this make it relevant? I don't know. But I think it's a good line of support. Ooh, the creep. Do the creep. This was a weird thing that happened, right? This was something that happened. Creepymon got like a line for some reason. Starting with a new egg, when your opponent's deck is trashed from, draw one. So the theme of this is milling your opponent, which, you know, old Creepymon kind of did. Old Secret Rare Creepymon, if anyone remembers that card. We have a Demi-Devi, who started your main phase. If your opponent has 10 or fewer cards in their trash the top 2 of both players' decks. Then, if they have 10 or more, gain 1. Okay, that's not bad. That's not a bad start of main. And then he has the inherit. When attacking, trash the top of both players' decks, which is the same as the Devimon. Devimon has the start of main when digivolving. If your opponent has 10 or fewer in their trash top 2. So both of these start of main, trash top 2. Then if they have 10 or more, you may return a card from trash to hand, meeting trait. Okay. That's solid enough, I guess. That's like something. Skull Satan mode. Skull Satan mode. Skull Satan Mon. He's a blocker when digivolving on deletion. If your opponent has 10 or more, or 10 or fewer, so these cards read weird. 10 or fewer cards in their trash the top 3 of both players' decks. Then delete one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon. If your opponent has 10 or more cards in their trash, add 2 to this level, so a level 5 or lower. And then he has the inherit. When attacking, this Digimon gains Sec +1 for the turn. If your opponent has 10 or fewer cards in their trash, instead trash top 2. So you want your opponent to have a bunch of cards to trash. You're trying to mill your opponent out. Kinda. Then Creepymon in his Klansman outfit. I don't know. Creepymon, why you dressed like that? You shouldn't be dressed like that, dude. That's kind of problematic. When digivolving on deletion, delete all your opponent's Digimon with the lowest DP. If you didn't delete anything, trash the top 5 cards of their deck, which is pretty big. Trash 5 is kind of insane, but usually they'll have one Digimon out, which you can delete. And then, when attacking, if your opponent has 10 or more cards in their trash, you can play a red or purple 5k DP Digimon from your trash to your empty breeding area. So, you know, you're playing this guy or this guy, so you can push him out next turn and get that super, super cool Mildew from your opponent. And then end of your turn, he can attack. So if you digivolve up, attack pretty much, and do your shit, and play a guy in the back. You know, not bad. Not bad, but I just don't really think there's a place for this. I think somebody might be able to crack a list. I don't really think it's going to be me. You know, I do have, like, old Creepymons, but I don't know, man. Is this what we're doing? Are we really doing this? Maybe, you know, milling your opponent's kind of funny. We'll see. Atmon. Atmon is next. We have Big Deucemon. He's taking a deuce on everybody. He's one of the 2 secret rares in the set. And we have, you know, the classic Atmon shit, which we can power through. Flickmon. When an effect trashes one of your links, gain 1 memory. Something Atmon desperately needs. So this deck might be good. We have the 3 rooks. We have a Kabemon, who just a little guy who comes out of security. You know, you hit him in security, he comes out, and then all of their links are like trash a link to do something. So you trash a link, de-digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon, which you'll probably be trashing the same link you link. So you link Kabemon, trash him to de-digivolve something when attacking. Miramon. When this Digimon gets linked, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Okay, that's not bad. And then by trashing one of this Digimon's links, suspend 2 of your opponent's Digimon when attacking. Not bad. Suspending 2 is pretty good, but you're already attacking, so I don't know. Is that good? Because it's not like stunning them, it's just suspending them for now. And then Copymon. No, sorry. Copipimon. He is your searcher. Reveal top 3, add a card with Atmon and Leviathan. And then his, when attacking, is trash 1 at link, and then you can return something from trash, which is really good. That's really good. These 3 we'll skip you for a second, can fucking app fuse into Menumon, like a menu, I assume. And she has jamming retail. That's not bad. So you swing, and then if they try to swing over you, they're going to get fucked. When this Digimon gets linked, if you have 1 or fewer tamers, play your tamer with Leviathan, which is him down here. And then its link effect is all turns when any of your opponent's Digimon suspend. By trashing one of the Digimon's link cards, draw 1, gain 1. Again, not the worst. I like that we're drawing and gaining. I like that we're gaining memory from multiple cards. And then on the other hand, the other non-fuse level 4, so we'll have 3 of those. Actually, let's go into her pair first. So she pairs with Sakusimon. Sakusi, I don't know what this could. Atmon, I ain't never seen these things before. On play when Digivolving, pop a level 3. Okay. All turns, when an effect trashes any of the Digimon link, gain 1 memory. So you're going to be swinging a lot to trash your links and gain memory, gain resources, do shit to your opponent's board. And then it has the link effect of when trashing, or when attacking, Jesus, trash one of this guy's links to pop a level 4. That's not bad. These 2 fuse into Warudamon. Waruda has Fortitude, and then she can on-play when Digivolving, so if you Fortitude out, do it again. You may link a level 4 Digimon card from your trash, or this guy's sources, to this Digimon without paying the cost, and then when this Digimon gets linked, you can suspend your opponent's Digimon, and it can't unsuspend. So a nice stun effect, which, she'll die, come back out, stun something, pretty good. And then it has a pretty good link effect of all turns whenever your opponent's Digimon suspend, trash one of your link cards that trashed your opponent's top security. So that's one line. The other line is Warpmon, who comes out of security. Both Warpmon and Weather Dramon come out of security. Warpmon is in a blocker who has the linking effect of when linking, trash one of this guy's link cards to to protect against de-digivolve. Not de-digivolve, but you get protection against it, which is good. It's really hard to come by protection against de-digivolve, so seeing that is pretty nice. He fuses with Weather Dramon, who comes out of security, and then on play, when Digivolve, give 2 of your opponent's Digimon sec -1, which could be really helpful coming out of security. Then he has the link effect of when attacking, trash a link to give something -6k. That's alright. And they go into Cometmon, who I really like the way this guy looks. He's got a big piano around him, big keyboard. I don't know, he just kind of looks cool. He has Collision. On play when Digivolving, you can link a level 4 or lower card from your hand or this guy's sources. And then when any effects trash any of your guys' links, give -8k for the turn. So, these 2 together are going to give big -14k. And then his link effect is when this Digimon would leave the battle area, the good protection, trash one of your links, it doesn't. So every Atmon so far has gotten a link that does something and a link that gives protection. And then this all culminates into Deucemon, who has natural security attack +1, which already means he's a pretty good card. Then when Digivolving, end of your opponent's turn, you can link a Digimon card from your hand, or... Oh, no, it's both. Oh, okay, sorry. I misinterpreted this card. I've read these. I kept up with a lot of these leaks, because, Evil Villain said I was pretty excited. So you can link from your hand to this Digimon without paying the cost. Then you can link from this Digimon's Digivolution card. So you're linking twice, when Digivolving or at the end of your turn, which you're switching your links up. All turns, when an effect trashes any of this Digimon's link cards, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. So you're constantly deleting shit. Like every turn, you'll be deleting stuff. You'll be deleting something on your turn and the end of your opponent's turn. And he has sec +1, and he has a bunch of pretty alright inheritables. Great. But the problem with this deck, I think, if my keen eye, seeing, you're constantly trashing your sources. So you will need this card, God Grade Unleashed, which looks like a Beyblade. I don't know what he's doing over here with his Beyblade, but main, draw 1. Great, love that. And then it's delay. When any effects trash a link, link for free from the trash. So this is how you're really going to be, keeping the value of having links, because you're going to lose a lot of links along the way. You're going to lose them. So you really do need to have this card at like 4, 5, maybe 6 copies in your deck. Just don't let your opponent see it. Then we have Yujin. Yujin, if your opponent has a Digimon, gain a memory. Great. Then when an effect trashes a link, tap him to draw one. Great, because, Appmon do struggle with drawing cards. They sometimes run out of hand size real quick. And then end of turn, one of your Digimon may app fuse, which, like all the other Appmon tamers, when you can app fuse. So if you pass turn, you can still do your shit. But this stuff's alright. I think it's got some strong effects that have a pretty steep cost of you're going to be trashing a lot of your resources. And I would like to play this, but this is a secret rare that you will need 4 copies of. So we'll see. We'll see if this comes to the channel. Next, something that will come to the channel for sure. My boy, Myotis, is back. Since I've started this channel, I have not got to talk about Myotis because he has not been good or playable. But now he will be. So we have a new Myotis, and we've just new everything for him. When he would be played, delete one of your Digimon with Myotis in its text to reduce play cost by 4. Pretty good, you play him for 3. On play, on deletion, one of your purple Digimon gains blocker retail. Pretty good. And then he has the on deletion inherit of you can play a purple tamer card from your trash. Suspended. Ooh. That does pair well with old ones. Like a fine glass of wine, it pairs well. Mommymon. On play, trash a card, de-digivolve. Oh, baby, love de-digivolve. Love it. And then on deletion, you can play a tamer card with Myotismon and its text from your trash without paying the cost. You can't play cards with the same name. So you do have like an Arukenny and Mommymon tamer, and then you always have Yukio. So it's going to be playing like one or the other, but you can't stack up on tamers, which is kind of sad. It's why you won't play the most of this. Like they both do the same thing, where you can play a tamer on deletion, but it can't be one you already have. And then Arukenny's on play is trash a card in your hand, delete up to 6k total of your opponent's Digimon. So great for popping floodgates, great for popping like just a 6k. But again, that restriction of you can't play things that you already have with your tamers is kind of rough. Then we have Venom. Venom, from your trash, you can delete one of your level 5s to reduce his play cost by 7. Then, on play when Digivolving, you can suspend 2 of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers. Then 2 of their Digimon or Tamers can't unsuspend. So stun, and then on deletion, delete one of your opponent's suspended Digimon. Pretty mid. I remember when I was watching like every reveal and be like, this is it? This is it? No, just kidding. So our SR, red, purple, blue, Mallow. Trash. By deleting 2 of your level 5 or higher Digimon with Myotismon in text, play this card with a reduced cost of 11. Play him for 3. Jesus. Delete 2 other unsuspended Digimon on play when Digivolving and attacking. Can be yours, can be your opponent's, which is important that it can be yours. When any of your other Digimon or Tamers are deleted, trash your opponent's top security card and return one of their Digimon with the lowest DP to the bottom of the deck. Jeez. So he is constantly popping your own things, which Myotismon decks love. You love to pop your own guys. That's what you're doing. To then bottom deck, so not delete, bottom deck and trash security. Really strong. And then to top it all off, we have a really good Yukio. He is a memory setter who also, when any of your Myotismon are played, delete this tamer. That Digimon gains rush and you gain 1 memory. When a tamer or Digimon are deleted, I'll just leave that there. Check out the when I get these cards, check out the video. Somebody already has found an infinite loop using some old Myotismon shit. So, okay. We be cooking. One of the weirdest things pop out of this set is weird Hunters support, where we have just a handful of cards, like Psychmon, who start of your main, you trash a card with save to draw 1 and suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Okay? On deletion, save, of course, and then inherit piercing. That's fine, I guess. And then you can Digicross with him. Then we have a new level 5, another Astamon, who has Fortitude, and on play when Digivolve, You may play a 4 cost or lower with save from under one of your tamers, and he also has piercing. Okay, right? Okay, I guess. Sure. And then this culminates in Quartzmon Ace, who on play when Digivolve, and also he can go over an Astamon as long as you have the Tamer, which we'll get to. Suspend all other Digimon Tamers, so yours and your opponent's, and then when Digivolving and attacking, delete one of your opponent's suspended Digimon, and then all turns other than this Digimon, no Digimon or Tamers can unsuspend in the unsuspend phase. So outside of being an ace, he's worse in every way than old Quartzmon. I really don't think you're going to build hunters around this. I don't know, man. It's just because he only stuns them in the unsuspend phase. If they have other effects that can unsuspend, that will proc and happen. I don't know, man. I'm not seeing it. And then we have Ryoma, who is a memory setter, and then when any of your Digimon digivolves into a guy with save, by tapping this tamer, place a Digimon card or save from under your tamers at the bottom of that source, and it gains alliance. Okay. When are you really like having multiple bodies out in hunters? When are you not needing the gain 1 memory from your tamers, or sorry, reduce cost by tamers? I don't know. This shit kind of weird, not great. Don't really have much to say. I just don't think it helps hunters much. Prove me wrong. We'll get through this one quick because this shit sucks. This shit's so bad. Apacoly gets the guys. So they all have the same main effect and on deletion and all turns. All 4 of these Dark Masters. Main, if you don't have any Digimon other than Digimon with Dark Master in their text, you can play this guy with a reduced cost of 5. So for 6, and then delete him, the Digimon this effect play. And then at the end of your turn, you'll delete him. So then his all turns, he can only Digivolve into a Apacoly. Okay? On deletion, if you have no black face-up security cards, place this Digimon with the face up as the bottom security card. And then if he's checked in security, if this card was face up, so not just any security, if he's face up, you can play a level 5 or lower Digimon card with Dark Master in its text. Okay. And then his unique effect is on play when attacking D-Digivolve 2. So Cedarmon has the same text, except for his on play when attacking. One of your opponent's Digimon and one of their tamers can't suspend. Sure. Puppetmon, on play when attacking, return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of the deck. Sure. Piedmon, on play when attacking, delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. Sure. And you're like, okay. So you're trying to get these guys face up into security for what? Apacoly. When this card would be played, by placing one of each face-up Dark Master cards with different names from your security stack under this card, reduce the play cost by 4. So you can reduce it by 16 if somehow you have lived long enough and gone through enough turns to have all 4 different named cards in your security. And your opponent has not beaten you or checked enough security where they like, oh, well, now I only have like 2 in security because I had all 4, but then they just swung and now I'm kind of fucked. On play when so what's he do, right? If you somehow pull off this Herculean feat, what does he do? You can play one of each Dark Master trait Digimon from your source, which will be all the guys, and then Dark Master trait Digimon gain rush for the turn, and at the end of the turn, delete all of them so they'll go back to security. Count it with me how many Dark Masters there are. 1, 2, 3, 4. Count how much security there is in Digimon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You do his Herculean feat of getting all 4 of these guys out. I mean, you get all of their on plays and when attacking, which none of them are once per turn, so you can do them all twice. You get 4 checks. Apacoly himself does not gain rush. You cannot even burn through all 5 security. nor could you finish game with this. Okay. Then he has an option. Maybe this option makes everything better. Well, you don't have option. You can play option. Great. Main, draw 2, place this in the battle area. People might just play this just for the draw 2. I feel like in other decks, 3-cost draw 2. Maybe. End of your opponent's turn. You may play a face-up Digimon card with Dark Masters from your security stack without paying the cost. At the end of your turn, delete that Digimon. And then its security effect is pretty similar, where you play a Digimon card with Dark Master Freight from your hand or trash without paying the cost, and add this to the hand, and at the end of your turn, delete the Digimon. Piss, dude. Piss and shit. Cannot even... It sucks so bad. I get the original Pokemon card was crazy busted, but come on, man. You were... Did the designers play the game? Do they understand you are not going to be able to ever do this? No one will ever do this. Unless you're like playing with your friend and you kind of let them, you go easy on them. You're both playing like the worst decks ever, and you're not swinging, so you can see him do it. Like, no, shut up. And then you don't even win, right? You don't even win the game by doing it. Shit like Royal Knights has, a similar, like, we got to build up like a big effect, but then they just win, right? Then you could win. Demon Lords has, we got to waste time to build up for a big effect, and then you win. This deck does not win you the game even when you do your big thing. What the fuck's the point? Whew. I was heated. So now we get to some shit I really like. Just 3 new cards for Belfay, another deck you will see on this channel. This deck has also found, or somebody online has found, a sick-ass OTK with like Valder Arm and shit, which seems pretty unreliable, but, hey, it looks funny. So we have a sleep mode and a rage mode. They can both digivolve over top of each other. Great. On play when digivolving, place a rage mode underneath from your trash as this guy's top Digivolution card, and then until the end of your opponent's turn, this Digimon cannot attack or be affected by any of your opponent's effects. And then on your opponent's turn, when any of your opponent's Digimon suspend, trash 2 cards in your hand to suspend 2 of their Digimon or Tamers. This actually really helps Demon Lords deal with wide boards, which before the old Pokemon can stop 1 attack, this, can stop 2 separate attacks and just stun things, right? Pretty alright. Rage mode. Fortitude. Oh, ooh. Start of your main phase. Suspend all of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon. Then, if you have 6 or fewer cards in your hand, this Digimon gains piercing security attack +2. Jesus. That's okay. You're swinging 3 checks plus 3k, 17k, 3 checks piercing. And then also start of your main phase on play when digivolving. Delete one of your opponent's suspended Digimon Tamers, which almost everything is going to be suspended. Then he has the Inherit, which Belfay players will remember. If this is the bottom stack, trash the top of your sleep mode at the end of your opponent's turn, so you can do all this shit. He wakes up. Belfay sleep, Belfay wake. He is insanely strong. Really, really good card. I think this is enough to see Belfay back at your locals. Will this be a top deck? Probably not. You'll see it on this channel. You'll see it at locals. It's a card to worry about. Then we have a new Tamer. He is a memory setter, Akihiro. End of your turn, if you have 6 or fewer cards in hand, place this Tamer as the bottom card of any of your Belfay stacks, and that Digimon may digivolve into a Belfay in trash without paying the cost. So, right? You do all your shit, swing, 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 3 checks, end your turn, go back into sleep mode, which you've trashed. Gain protection, unaffected by everything. You have 3k more. Really strong. Really, really strong shit right here with just 3 cards. This is how you do like little support. Just give 3 good cards. This will revive a deck. Great design. Love this. We have another big chunk of cards that I don't fully comprehend Bagra. I've never watched X-Gross. I've never played this deck. I don't get it. But here's all the cards. Choo-Choo-Mon. Choo-Choo. You start your main phase. You can place a Digimon card with Bagra trait from your hand or trash as any of your Bagra Digimon's sources. Or under their tamers. And then on deletion save, then an effect you'll see in a couple cards. When an effect trashes this source, draw one. Okay, I guess. I guess, man. Sure, man. Skull Knightmon. On play when Digivolving, trash a card to delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 4 or less, and save, and blocker inheritable. Sure thing, boss. Deadly Axemon. He can, on play when Digivolving, trash a card, and then you can return something from trash. I feel like that's better, especially in a purple deck where you're going to be putting shit in trash a lot. And he has Retaliation inheritable. We also have Damemon, who, on play, by placing a Bog or Army trait Digimon card from your hand or trash under any of your tamers, draw one. So you're loading up your tamers. Then on deletion, you can play a Tuaramon with a play cost of 7 or less from under any of your tamers without suspending, then save. What's Tuaramon, you might ask? This is Tuaramon. What the fuck even is this? What am I looking at? Rush Collision, so he swings, dies, play a guy with Rush. That's not bad. By trashing any Digimon card from your Bagra Army trait Digimon, one of your Bagra Army trait Digimon gains blocker Retail until your opponent's turn ends. So, it can be him. So when you play him with Damemon, you can still Digicross a Damemon and Chumon in hand, or use the Tamer to do in trash, and then trash one of your guys, draw a card, gain blocker, Retail. I think this cute little combo is good. I think, but I don't know. I don't remember much of the old Bagra stuff. So our level 5, Dark Knightmon, who Skull Knightmon, Deadly Axemon, Digicross, which makes him cost 5. On play when Digivolving until your opponent's turn ends, Digivolve effects don't affect one of your Digimon, and it gets 3k. So that's pretty strong. Protection from Digivolve is nice. And then, when this Digimon would leave the battle area, you may play a 4-cost or lower card from its stack without paying the cost. And it has the inherit when any of your opponent's Digimon attacks, you may change the attack target to this Digimon. So not a blocker, is switching the attack target. I think that's pretty strong. It costs 5. I know there's one of the old Bagra Army Tamers, correct me if I'm wrong, that can reduce play cost further when you do shit like this. So, maybe. This card's pretty alright. And then we have like the Meat and Taters, which is the bunch of level 6s and level 7 you get with this deck. So Blastmon, he's a mineral. Ooh. Ooh. He is Collision Fragment Blocker. On play when Digivolving until your opponent's turn ends, give one of their Digimon start a main phase. This Digimon attacks. Okay, so you Digivolve into him, they have to attack, and then you block. Great. When he attacks, you can trash any 2 of this Digimon's stack, and he gains Sec +1, which again, you like trashing your own guys to get draw 1. And then he Digicrosses with 3 different Bagra Army guys to reduce his cost. Bagra himself, on play when Digivolving, you may place one of your opponent's Digimon as any of their other Digimon or Tamer's bottom source. Really funny. This effect's always been really funny. He used to do this. I'm glad he's still doing it. And then all turns when any of your opponent's Digimon would Digivolve or effects place a card under them, which you're doing, by trashing 2 of this guy's sources, trash your opponent's top security. Again, that is a pretty strong effect. Like, not gonna lie. Is the Bagra Army stuff like consistent or good enough to support going into this? I mean, probably not, but that's a strong effect. We have Lilymon, old Lily. Here she is, on play when Digivolving until your opponent's turn ends. Give one of their Digimon or Tamers. End of your turn, delete one of your Digimon. So you can give that to one of their Tamers, so Lilithmon's old thing, you can give pretty much this effect to one of their Digimon, which then they just swing with it, and dies, who cares. Now you can give it to the Tamer. So even if they empty their board, if they play something else to like search or something and end turn, they then have to delete that. You're forcing them to a Tamer, which they can't really remove in any way, to delete one of their things. Which, I mean, they can. They can, hybrid swing, it dies, whatever. But that's like such a niche case. And then when any of your opponent's Digimon are played or deleted, trash 2 of this guy's sources, and you may play level 4 or lower purple card from your trash. Pretty good, because you can pitch the purple source you want to play from her. Then our final level 6, Tactimon. On play when Digivolving, you may choose one of your Digimon, delete the chosen Digimon, and one of your opponent's Digimon with as high or low level as it. So You're going to be choosing Tactimon, because then when any of your Baga Army trait Digimon would leave the battle area, by effects, trash 2 of this guy's stack, and they don't. So, you pop one of their level 6s or lowers, and he doesn't leave. This all culminates in Darkness Bagra. On play when Digivolving, choose one of your opponent's cards in hand without looking, place it as their Digimon or Tamer's bottom source. Really funny. This can lead to funny scenarios. And then, by placing 3 Baga Army Trait Digimon cards from your trash as this guy's top source, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with sources under it. All turns, he gains every effect of all level 6 Baga cards in his stack, which is, you're usually going to be, I would say, you can play him. But, I mean, you can. With Tamers and shit, you can reduce play cost further. But, you have one of your guys, Digivolve for 6, play the other 3. You gain infinity effects. You gain just so much shit. He's super, super strong. Will you be able to get into this? I don't know. I'm sorry. And then we have you and Nene combo tamer, who start a main phase. You can place a Baga Army or Twilight trait Digimon card from your hand or trash under this tamer to draw 1. And then, when any of your Baga or Twilight Digimon cards are played, with Digicross requirement, by suspending this tamer, draw 1 card, or no, not draw, by suspending this tamer, 1 card from under your tamers and 1 card of your trash can be placed. So, this lets you grab shit from trash to use. It's got a lot of cards. I would be surprised if somebody didn't figure out something with this. I feel like Darkness and Bagra are both really, really strong. Tactimon's got some pretty good protection. Blastmon also has protection with Fragment. I don't know. I feel like there's something here. Reading these cards, it gives me a little smile, but we'll see. Somebody will figure it out. We have weird Gamma support for some reason, because I guess, there's Evil Gammamon. Evil Gammamon says, on play when Digivolving, trash 2 cards from your deck, then place 1 Digimon card with Gamma and its name from your trash as this guy's bottom source. When you add to this guy's Digivolution cards, he may Digivolve into Regulusmon in the hand or trash with paying 1 less cost. Okay, I guess. And then what's Regulusmon do? He's a rush blocker who, on play when Digivolving, you can place up to 5 differently named cards with Gammamon in their names from your trash as this guy's bottom source, then delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a much or less DP as this guy. Okay, if this Digimon has 5 or more Digivolution cards, end of turn, it may attack without suspending. When any of your opponent's Digimon are deleted, gain 1 memory. I also neglected to say, Evil Gammamon gives raid. This seems pretty good. Gammamon enjoyers. This seems actually pretty strong. Like this little combo here. He's an SR too, so I would think this would fucking help the deck. It looks like it will. Let me know if it doesn't. Let me know if it doesn't. I think this does. And then finally, save the best for last. My favorite Digimon, Bielze, gets a new line. Starting with Itmon. First off, 2 of these cards have when trashed from your deck effects. Great, love to see that. When they are trashed from your deck, delete a level 4 or lower. Great. Start a main phase, trash top 2. Oh, baby. And then your turn, for every 10 cards in your hash, get 1k. So you usually give 1k. At good times, you'll give 2k. At great times, you'll give 3k. A new Wizardmon. When he is trashed, give sec -1 to something. Okay. On play when Digivolving, by trashing the top card of your security, trash the top 2 cards of your deck, and all of your opponent's Digimon get -3k. Insane. Insane. I mean, it's not that crazy, but sometimes that's all it takes. Sometimes -3k on the board can make the difference, and he has Inherent Barrier. A new Ballmon, who has on play when Digivolving it, trash top 3. Then, if you have 5 or more in your trash, this Digimon gains Reboot Blocker until the end of your opponent's turn, which it will, because you'll trash 2, right? You'll have 5 or more. And then on deletion, if you have 10 or more, which you will from the stack at that point, play a Bielzamon from your trash without paying the cost. And then all turns, he also gives DP. So if you have both of these, you can actually reach pretty good numbers. And then we have the other secret rare, Bielzamon Sick Akira Bike mode, Ace. While you have 20 or more cards in your trash, he can Digivolve for an Impmon from the cost of 4. Not bad. And then on play, when Digivolving, when attacking, trash the top 2 cards of your deck. Then delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 6 or lower. For every 10 cards in trash, add 3. So you'll usually be hitting 9. You can hit 12 pretty easily, but probably 9 is your most consistent play cost. You're deleting with that. And then if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, by returning 2 non-Digi-Egg cards from your trash to the top of the deck, de-Digivolve 2. The best thing about this is you can return things in whatever order you want. So you could also do this first, because, you can pick the order when you're doing things. Put 2 things to the top, trash 2. Oh, now we're doing shit. We're de-Digivolving and then popping a level 4 lower. Ooh, this card is crazy strong. De-Digivolve 2, crazy strong. You can play him off of Ballmons. Crazy good. I think this stuff is really strong, and we will be seeing Beelzemon come back. Beelzy come back. You can blame it all on me, baby. And that is EX10. The Pokemon meme card. Look, there's the art. That's what he looked like in the show. It's a great purple set for purple enjoyers. Gives rocks some fucking fun tools, which I probably is going to be the best deck. Gives a lot of purple decks. Mayote, Masty, Creepy, Beelze, Bagra, Luce, all these purple decks. Belfie get so much shit. But we'll see. I think this is a very hype set. I'm super excited. Hopefully you guys are too. Stay tuned for all sorts of decklist videos on many, many of the decks that we talked about here today. But thank you all for watching. I've been the Blue Raspberry Gamer. This has been our EX10 set review. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.